Easy. Joe was popping. So you already know how Joe feeling about this whole situation.
Hey, Ham, I got your shirt on too.
Huh?
Joe,
Like
what?
one of your shirts too.
What's that one? Hold on, let me
On the whole
zoom in.
joint, support black shit.
Oh yeah, you already know. Uh-huh. Indeed. All right. Joel on the hot seat. What's popping?
So Joe, um, I noticed from your last few super chats, not just well, let's talk about today. The one you just put up. Can you put that one up, Hamp, please? Since he came up, he just had a super chat.
All right. 1 second. Well, while I'm about to put that up, let me just read. Steppenwolf with the $5 says it's actually facial expressions we seeing. Joel says so. Either the men tell their business and end up looking like fools, or they respect their significant others and get dropped. Gotta love this logic.
Yeah. So Joe, with this particular super chat, you've sent others over the past couple of weeks or whatnot, and they're very snarky. Um, this one, what do you mean the logic? Gotta love the logic. Please expound upon that when you're saying the logic is skewed or whatever.
All right, so this is what I didn't understand. The first couple gentlemen that came up there, the one you asked about, I can't remember the guy's name. I think it was Hank Deasy. He was talking about what was going on, with him and his lady or whatever. And it sounded at least from my point of view like he was saying a bunch of stuff that maybe shouldn't be discussed on YouTube as far as like what's going on with him and his wife in the bedroom, whether he having sex with her or not.
He's not
I mean,
married.
right, him and his lady, significant other, whatever you want to call him.
Hmm.
So I feel like me personally, your mileage may vary. There's certain things you shouldn't talk about in public, well, especially with strangers. What goes on in your relationship, with whether it's a girlfriend, wife, your jump offs, whatever the case may be. My philosophy is certain things, those things like that, you should keep that stuff private. So
But he
then,
didn't get dropped. But he didn't. Hank Deasy didn't get dropped.
no, he didn't get dropped, but he was up there kind of like making it sound like things wasn't on the up and up between him and his lady. And then then misogynist came up here, and y'all asked him, had this new lady that he got, has he had sex with him yet? And
Hmm.
he pleaded the fifth. He said he didn't want to answer because he wanted to keep that private. And at
Right.
that point, y'all kicked him off.
He did get dropped. He got dropped because you have
So
to answer direct questions. Come on, bro. You can't come to even talk about your lady
exactly, that
like
was my
that. Who was
that was
that
my first
about? Who was
that
that
was
one
my
about?
first that was my first super chat in reference to Hank Deasy.
Oh,
Because he got
Hank
he got on
Deasy.
here he got on here talking kind of suspect about whatever's going on between him and his wife, and like I feel like you shouldn't do that.
But he's
So
not. But Joe, Hank Deasy's not married.
his
They're not even
wife,
in a
lady,
relationship. They're not
significant
even in
other.
a relationship. Joe, they're not even in a relationship. He said that. And thank you. That's the rule for tonight. Number one, he said that's not even his lady. He says he's not even sure if he wants her to be his lady. He said that. So he could have easily done that. So he chose to do that. And he chose to come up here because the rules were stated before any man came up here. They didn't
Okay,
have to come up here and answer any questions at all.
all right, cool, that's fine. I accept that.
Cool. All right. So that's just what he shared. I have a question for you, Joel. You ready?
Yep.
When you're dating someone, what does it look like for you to take a step back? Are you ghosting them, or are you just like, look, this not working for me? How do you approach
I
like
would be.
cutting it
I'm.
off?
I'm gonna be upfront. Like I don't believe in ghosting people. Stop, just cut off communications. If something's not working, I'm gonna say, hey, this ain't working. I need to take a break, and then that's that.
How does it go though? Do you like take her out on a date? Y'all hanging out, or you just be like, listen, I need to talk? How does it manifest for you?
I would just do it straight up. Like I wouldn't even try to sugarcoat it with a date. It's just gonna be a straight up conversation. It'd be like, hey, I prefer to do it in person if we can. It's not gonna be a date or anything like that because I'm not. We ain't got to go through all these extra gyrations for me to get to the point I need to get to, which is I need to fall back for a minute. So it's just gonna be simple face to face conversation. I'm gonna tell her how it is, and then we move on from there.
Okay. So how do you feel about guys like texting a breakup or just ghosting a girl they're no longer interested in?
It's not for me. I think it's whack. Like I'm not gonna do it, but some maybe some guys don't care or maybe don't have maybe they don't have the person-to-person conversation skills to do it, or whatever the case may be. But it's not for me. I prefer to talk to you in person.
I agree with that. I think it's healthier. And ladies, Keisha, did you have a question? Oh, I thought you were raising your hand.
But I want to know I want to know if he's single
Yes, I'm
or are
single.
you in a relationship?
Nope,
Okay.
100
And when was your
100%
last
single.
relationship?
It's been a while, like probably about at least a decade now, probably longer than that.
No, okay. Were you the one that ended or did she end it?
She ended it. It was a long distance. It was a long distance relationship, and we couldn't reconcile on how to take the distance out of it. So she decided it was just best that we go our separate ways.
Oh, okay.
So, question, Joel. I heard you say you've been single for a while, and I know we've talked about that here for some time. How do you, in your dating, how do you go about um, the reactions? Do you ever get like a bad reaction for somebody thinking you've been single for too long or something's wrong with you because you haven't been in a relationship for a while?
Oh yeah, all the time. You can probably see in the chat right now if you look. But I mean, it is what it is.
I ain't
At this
fucking with the
point,
chat.
yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't think too much out of people's reactions on it anymore.
But does that affect you? Does that affect how you date or when you date?
I wouldn't say it affects. I wouldn't say it affects how, but sometimes people do ask questions, and if somebody asks a question as to why, I'll be honest with them, and however they want to take that answer, that's how we go with it.
Okay, I was just wondering, do you seem like it's from your point of view? Did you see it as a turnoff? I was just wondering.
I don't think it is, but I can see why somebody else may think it is, and of course, everybody's got a right to think whatever it is they want to think. So
Do you want to be in a relationship?
at this point, I'm not sure, honestly. Like, there's I'm 39 years old now, so I've spent the vast majority of my 20s and my 30s, thinking about it, trying to make it happen. But then you got to realize that maybe it's either not meant to happen, or it's gonna happen whenever it's due time. Because the more
Is it
I realize, the more energy I expend trying to worry about it and think about it, like the worse my results get. So these days, I'm not even worried about it anymore. I'm just living my life.
so? Do you think it's on your part, or do you think it's just you don't feel like this the type of women that you were looking for?
Oh, I mean, a lot of it's me, honestly. Like, some of it was I was either looking in the wrong places, or I wasn't trying hard enough. Some of it was, where I was at in life at that point. I went a long time without even trying, because, I spent 4 years in the military. So when I was in the Army, I wasn't really dating at all, because I spent 2 years in Korea, so I wasn't even in America. So it wasn't nothing for me to date. So, little events like that kind of set you back a little bit.
Oh,
Most women over there, so you prefer black women? I guess that's what
Oh,
it is.
absolutely. I mean, also when you're in the military and you station overseas, especially when you station in a place like South Korea, your availability to black women is slim.
Okay, so you ain't slide off one of them Koreans.
No,
Will you move if you find someone in a different state or you stayed in your location?
at this point, I would prefer to stay where I'm at. I mean, I just started a fantastic job about a month ago. Uh, Probably the best paying job I ever had in my life. So, like, she's gonna have to be phenomenal for me to uproot my whole life and everything I've built for the last 10 years I've been back in DC. Like, she's gonna have to be phenomenal for me to uproot my whole life to move somewhere else to be with her.
Did the lady you was dating the long term relationship, did she not want to move to you?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
kind
why?
of what it was. Yeah, that was the large point of it. Like, I was here in DC at the time. She lived in Florida, and we couldn't come up on a compromise as far as a happy medium, because she didn't want to be up north, and I didn't want to be in the south. So
So, Joel, I was distracted earlier. Did you say that you're not looking for a relationship right now? Is that what you said?
I'm not actively looking for it. I'm just doing me right now, living my life, going about my business. Like, I'm not trying to invest any more time and energy into dating than I've been getting in return, because
Mhm.
I'm all about reciprocity.
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong. I thought you said something about maybe it may not be in the cards for you. Is that what you said?
That's what I said. You're correct.
Okay.
Because
So
it might not be in the cards. You never know. Marriage and kids ain't for everybody.
yeah. Well, maybe not marriage or maybe a long-term relationship, but ultimately you do want to get married though.
I'm not sure, honestly.
Oh, okay. You don't know if you want to get married.
Not sure. We gotta start from the bottom. I'm not even thinking about marriage right now. Let's start from.
Yeah, you have to have somebody first thing about marriage. I'm
Yeah,
just saying, is that your goal though? Okay.
My goal right now is to enjoy my life.
And how do you enjoy your life? And how do you enjoy your life?
I'm in the board games. I'm in the card games. I go out every now and again. Hamp knows me. He got me into DJing, so every now and again I DJ some gigs. That's the way where I meet people. So that's kind of what I do.
How do you find relational? I'm sorry, Ashley. How do you? And I'm letting down to this one. How do you find relational fulfillment? And I say relational, not necessarily between romantic, but because it's not good for men to be alone. But how do you get that relational fulfillment? Not isolate yourself. Like how are you? Because you say you play video games and you play card games, whatever. Like how do you get that relational? I don't even say intimacy because relationship can be intimacy between your friends too. Like, how do you get that?
Kay told us already. He told us.
Yeah. Again, I have friends. Like I'm not a sociopath. I'm not a loner. I got a phenomenal group of friends. Some of whom you've met, love. So.
Well, no, I'm not saying you're a sociopath. I'm just saying relational, as in even the opposite sex and the intimacy, because it's different interacting with your homeboy, your homegirl, than it is with a woman that you're mentally interested in. So it's been 10 years and you're not even looking or even trying now. So it's 10 plus years. Like, how do you get that fulfillment? That's all I'm saying.
It's a good question. I mean, it's not when you go that long without it, it becomes something that you don't. It's not like something that you crave. Like for example, if you went 10 years without drinking, you pretty much quit cold turkey. You're gonna forget what alcohol tastes like.
Ashley, go ahead.
I'm good.
All right.
Let me ask. Did something happen? No? Okay.
Y'all had y'all chance to fucking bore me to death. All right. Let me this. I mean,